Hello everybody and welcome to the Sovereign Village project. I want to take you all for a glimpse into the homestead builds that we have going on right now. This is a good chance to see an entire homestead under rapid construction. It's pretty messy, so I wouldn't normally want to bring the world in to see this, but I'm going to give myself a little bit of leeway because we have so much, this is a construction site, not a home, so do excuse the mess. This is we didn't really do much building here. This is just a prefab Amish built shed, but this is our workshop space as well as our storage, and we are doing some builds off of it. Those cedar poles you see lying there, those poles are going to be placed on the outside here, and we're doing lean-to structures underneath that. So that's going to be our wood storage as well as kind of our boneyard storage for like 2x4s and leftover building materials to keep them dry. Eventually that building will not be a workshop. We're going to be building a separate workshop eventually, and that will become our kind of our commercial building. That will be our processing, where we bring our CSA vegetables into there and process them outwards, or CDs for my music, or we'll have different areas, more outdoor and indoor, but that will be everything that we're shipping out to the world and selling. Basically, that's going to be our commercial structure. But for now, it's just doing a good job of being a workshop. And in retrospect, I would have done that first before anything. Next homestead build I do, the first building on the ground will be a workshop. I really regret not doing that to begin with. It would have made life a whole lot easier to have all my tools in one place with power run to it. But lesson learned. So next we have many different projects going on. This pole just got dropped a couple of days ago. So we now have permanent power on site. We have a lot of our water catchment ready to go. We have different tanks staged all over the property and barrels. Every single building virtually is going to have water catchment, even this chicken coop. So this is our next build. We started this one just today, just laid the poles. And this will be a very simple structure, just 4 posts in the ground. We'll be doing a chicken wire or a wire bottom to prevent predators, and then wood up the sides, a lean-to metal roof with water catchment, which will feed the water for the chickens. And then we'll do a much larger outdoor run, and this will be that composting run I mentioned in a previous video, where we'll just load tons of organic matter in, and then we'll have a swale running through it, and it'll capture all the compost at the bottom of the pile and take it out and put it into a usable place for us. Just below that we have another animal housing project, and this is pretty bare bones. This is just what's going to be a concrete pad, and those are the poles that are going to be used up on this chicken coop here. We took those off of cedars from the area we were clearing for our commercial crop site. So this will be a slightly sloping concrete pad. It's not going to be perfectly level, and it's going to have a metal shed over it, and this will be our commercial rabbit breeding operation. We're doing a commercial rabbit breeding operation not to make a lot of money. The idea is to make enough money to pay for the feed, and basically to just bring tons of feed from off-site, run it through our rabbits, and turn it into amazing manure, which can be used instantly on our garden. So this is our way of jump-starting tons of fertility for our farm, and negating the need for any exterior inputs other than whatever feed we bring for our rabbits, which should be paid for by the sale of the rabbits. I feel good about this project because there are so many people who are just starting out in homesteading, especially in this part of Tennessee. I feel pretty strongly that I'm going to be able to move these rabbits and basically just use them as manure generation machines. So that's what this structure will be here. So both them and the chickens are going to be basically, the food that they produce is kind of a byproduct, really. The real gold is the brown gold, and that's the fertility that will make us have tons and tons of compost and tons of food production as a result. So those projects are in various stages. Like I said, we just started that chicken coop just today, laid out those poles. That's a really simple structure if you're just trying to build animal housing, is to just base it off of kind of a pole barn idea, but just use 4x4 posts or cedar posts like I showed you over there by the rabbit hutch. And then we have another very new build, which is our little mini greenhouse. This is our Seedling Greenhouse, one of at least 3 that we have planned for this property. This one is close to the house for a lot of reasons. We have this is the south side of the house, so the sun's hitting that all day and it's reflecting off of that foundation and off of the building, and so that's really buying us a lot of heat. And the house is being heated in the winter as well, so a lot of that heat is flowing passively over to there. So that makes it pretty ideal, and it's just an easy walk for us, so we're more likely to really maintain these seedlings and give them a good start and water them properly. And we can also grow herbs and stuff in there close to the kitchen. So this is just a prefab kit. Polarum is the brand. Cheap Chinese crap, basically. I bought it, sort of panic bought it, just to have something on the ground when all the supply chain stuff started happening and building materials started shooting up. I was like, I just need some kind of greenhouse on my property. So I bought this kit. It was like $300 or $400. The plastic is basically what comes on top of your salad container from Kroger, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend it for the money. I could have built something better, and in fact it's all shored up for a storm we're going to have tonight. but I will be able to shore this up, and it'll be good enough quality. I think I'll be able to make it last. I just wouldn't do it in retrospect. We're working on a gravel pathway in the center that drains outwards, so any water in here does not become a problem. And we will be building benches and shelves all through here, and that's actually going to tie the structure together. And then we'll be like putting lots of glue and silicone and all sorts of stuff to really try to hold this structure together better. But so that's that project. That'll also have some rabbits incorporated in it seasonally. And then just be transitioned to a straight greenhouse. Of course, we have the house build, which is very, very close to completion. We still have kitchen cabinets to do, a little bit of electric work to do, staining, painting, things like that. But it's in pretty much a livable, habitable condition right now. So that's really wonderful because we were not waiting for it to be habitable before we habitated it. That's the nature of homesteading. Sometimes you just have to do things before you're ready and jump in order to save the money and be on site to work on everything. And so I wanted to show this whole build and let people know, you know, when you're in the hot and heavy part of a homestead build, it's going to be messy. There's going to be 50 different projects going on, and it's extremely overwhelming. But it's nothing that our ancestors didn't all do, and the only difference is they were fighting wars while doing it and staving off starvation, and they didn't have a Walmart they could go to. So as hard as all this is, it's all very doable, and we can all do it. So I hope that's encouraging for everyone as you start your homestead builds, or if you already have a homestead, and like all homesteaders, you're just always building something. All right, everyone, in the meantime, stay safe, be well, and happy homesteading.